Hello, guys. It's Wednesday, it's Wednesday, it's Wednesday. I usually sing and dance on Fridays, but got the crazy hair going again today. I have a story about my hair actually that I could share with you guys. Um, but I'll finish saying that I'm just excited because my mom is here and it just feels like the holidays are starting to get started. And I think it's weird because Christmas falls on a Monday this year, so it's like you don't really have all week to build up to it, so it kind of doesn't feel like it's Christmas, but I know as soon as the weekend hits, it's going to feel like Christmas. So I'm excited, and I think the next couple days I just might have to wear a Santa hat. So pardon the hair. Here's the story about my hair, guys. My hair is naturally very, very curly. Okay, like if I don't take a flat iron and a blow dryer to my hair on a regular basis, it's just like clown hair, like super duper curly. And what happened was over the last 6 months, I've kind of been letting it grow, but then at the same time, I've been bleaching it and I've gone from brunette to blonde, which has completely fried my hair. Spoiler alert, going from brunette to blonde fries your hair. But what I found is, so I don't have some really thick hair, but my hair grows insanely fast. Like if you keep up with me, you'll notice, like I'll have short hair and then it'll be long and I'll cut it short again. Like my hair just grows really fast, but it's super thin. I shouldn't say super thin. Yeah, it's thin. It's thin. It's like fine hair. And then now after I've like bleached it, it's just like weird. Like it's not super curly anymore because I took all the moisture out of it, and it's just not easy to do anymore. So anyways, I have a hair appointment next week and I'm going to be getting her to help me out and kind of get me all set up. So if you're looking at my hair and you're distracted by these little strands, I think I might even have to let's pull it down. Yeah, let's do this. I think this is good. Maybe this, I don't know. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. It's a day 10 of the 12 days of Christmas. We are getting to the end, and I'm so excited about today's topic. I'm going to try to keep it short again because my mom's here and I want to be able to spend time with her. But I have been getting a lot lately in terms of not only just feelings myself, but a lot of private messages, a lot of people reaching out to me, a lot of moms who are wanting to live their purpose in 2018, a lot of women who are really feeling this shift in the world the same way that I am in all areas of their life: mind, body, soul, motherhood, right? They want to do better as moms. They want to take better care of themselves and their families from a mind, body, soul perspective. They're noticing the shift that's happening. There is more in the areas I'm in anyway, more of the tendency for people to be really waking up and realizing life is short. We got to take better care of ourselves. Life is short. We want to live it to the fullest we can live it. And we really want to set our children up for a happy and successful life. And so we do this by starting with ourselves first, right? And many people are getting to this place now too where their kids are maybe a little bit older. They're out of those early days of, like the new baby and you're so busy with the baby, but you're kind of in this place now where it's like, you're meant for more. You don't know what that is. You have some purpose in life and you're searching it out, and you want to start 2018 on a path of fulfillment. Okay. And I want to talk today about how I got to where I am today. I'm going to share a quick story. I'm going to talk about why stories are important, and I'm going to talk about something called IKIGAI, which is, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I've been saying IKIGAI for years now. No one's ever corrected me. But IKIGAI is a Japanese term. And in very short terms, Ikigai simply means your reason for being, okay? Your reason for being, the reason you get up in the morning. And if you're a mom, you might want to say, well, my reason for being is my kids. But actually, we have another reason for being other than our kids, right? Eventually, our kids grow up. They move away, they do their own thing, they're living their own lives. Our sole purpose in life is not to be mothers. We have other purposes. We have other things in life that we're meant to do, that we're meant to experience. And so if you are living in your Ikigai, you are basically living a life of satisfaction and a life of meaning. And I think more now than ever, people are really realizing that this is important. You know, I don't want to be going to a job every day that I 90% love and 10% hate, because that job fulfills like 90% of me and 10% of me it doesn't fulfill. Like, people are wanting to do more with their life now. So the reason it's important to get your story straight is because it's going to lead you to your Ikigai. So, you know, I came to this through many experiences in my life over the last 42 years. And my life up until today makes a story. Like, there's a story. Everybody has a story. Like, when you meet somebody and they do a job or they have a business, there's always a story attached to it, right? When you're doing something and someone's asking you about what you're doing, you always have a story. You always have a story of how you got to where you are. And every single thing that you've done in your life up until this point is part of your story. Everything that you have learned, how you were raised, experiences you've had, maybe that you were raised in a particular type of culture, maybe it's certain types of parents who raised you a certain way, every job you've ever had, every sport you've ever played, every interaction you've had that's been meaningful to you in some way has all contributed to who you are today. So I always say to people that if you want to know what your reason for being is, start with your story and start to pick out all those things in that story that have kind of culminated in where you are today. And this is how, for those of you who don't know, I'm a life coach. I work with new and expecting moms, and any mom who's early on in the stage of kind of motherhood who just wants to make sure that she's raising amazing kids without losing herself. But we talk a lot about this because if you watched my live yesterday, I talked about the 5 pillars of motherhood. So the 5 pillars are the self, the partner, the past, the present, and the future. And these things all encompass your motherhood journey, and they're all going to allow you to be a better parent, a more intentional parent, and raise amazing kids, the kinds of kids you want to raise without putting your marriage on the back burner. And that pillar of the self, we do a lot of work in that pillar of the self to find your purpose and your passion and your Ikigai so that you've got something to hold on to when you become a mom, so that you're not getting super carried away by motherhood. Okay, so this is kind of some of the exercises that we do when I'm doing my coaching with moms. So I'm going to share this with you guys. This is just like a super like rough kind of drawn out. I just did this in like 2 seconds, but it looks like a fishtail or like a spine. And so I always say, if you start here at the top, this is when you were born, and then this is you today. And all these branches, okay, are the different things. And I mean, this is nothing. There's like going to be 1,000 branches of things that make up your story. So, you know, I've listed off some things here: your upbringing, your beliefs, your cultural upbringing, your experience, your skills, your talents, things that you love to do. Those all make up your, this is your story. And then these things, as you list them off, will all make up your story. So for me, I'm going to quickly list off. I'm not going to tell you my full story because it's super long, but I'm going to give you an example. So where I am today, I'm the founder of Modern Mommy Prep School. My goal is to inspire women to live a healthier, happier life, mind, body, soul, so that they can raise amazing kids. That's essentially like what I'm about right now. I have a podcast, we have a coaching business, and we've got a lot of stuff coming out in the new year around this. My story, everything from the day I was born, has led me to this moment of doing something which is my Ikigai. It's something I'm good at. It's something I love to do. It's something I'm passionate about. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about Ikigai in a minute, a little bit more about that in a minute, but I'm going to share with you all the things that go into my fishbone, or many of the things that go into my fishbone, to help you do your own fishbone. So if you're walking into 2018 and you're really wanting to do more along the lines of finding your purpose and find your true meaning, maybe you're thinking about running your own business, maybe you're thinking you need to find something new to devote your time and energy to, this is going to help you with that. Okay, and by the way, Ikigai looks like this. Actually, I'll show you this now so that you can kind of get a better idea of what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen this before, this is kind of an Ikigai, like it's like a Venn diagram. So you'll notice these 4 circles, they all overlap each other. And the 4 circles are basically what you love, what you're good at, what you can make money at, and what the world needs. And then when those all overlap, they comprise different things. So what you love and what you are good at is essentially something that is your passion. What you can make money at and what you are good at is your profession. What you can make money at and what the world needs is typically a vocation. And then what the world needs and what you love is a mission. And when all these things overlap, and when you find all these things, right, when you know exactly what all of these things are, that's your IKIGAI. And that would be what I would describe as, your dream job or your purpose, something that you get up every day and love to do, and you're probably making money at it, but it doesn't feel like work. Like, imagine that, okay? And so I want to share with you guys the process that I've gone through to get to where I am today, and the things that have kind of happened for me. So from the time I was born, here are all the things that stand out for me that have contributed to kind of like where I'm at today and the person I'm at today, and all those little things that make up my story that end up making up what I'm good at, what I love to do, what I'm passionate about, what the world needs. So I was born into an Indian home, have an Indian upbringing, so there's lots of cultural things that go with that. I had very strict parents. I was a chatty and social kid. I loved being social. I loved talking to people. I was a gymnast from the time I was like 2 years old. My mom put me in gymnastics, so I was a gymnast. I was a competitive gymnast. I eventually became a gymnastics coach. And I'm also an older sibling, so I was a coach, an older sibling. I had some leadership qualities. Because of gymnastics, I ended up doing sports in university. I was, on the gymnastics team in university. I also did track for a year in university. And because of my love for sports, it's the reason that I chose to be in the faculty that I went into. So I studied exercise sciences, physical education, kinesiology, that type of thing in university. And I was very interested in the human body, health and fitness. I worked with elite level athletes like Jeremy Witherspoon and Katrina LeMay Doan back in 98 when I graduated. I ended up getting a job at the University of Calgary at the Human Performance Lab, where I worked with these elite level athletes and did all sorts of research and testing with them. I'm very artistic. I like to paint. I went on to become a makeup artist after I left the research and the testing. I went on to become a makeup artist with MAC Cosmetics. I worked there for several years. I moved around within the company. I was a manager and a trainer. I did different jobs, again, some leadership stuff there, and able to really work on my artistic, the makeup artist kind of in me was able to be let out. I ended up leaving that to, I really wanted to kind of get back to, I left the makeup thing and I wanted to get back to just educating and leading and working with kids, because I used to be a gymnastics coach for small children. So I went back to school and I got a couple of supporting diplomas in working with special needs children, and then ended up working with children who had autism for several years. I then left that and went and got my adult learning certification because I realized I didn't actually want to work with children. I wanted to work in a leadership capacity with adults. So I got my adult learning certificate and I worked for an engineering company as a corporate trainer for several years. And then I ended up working in the last big job that I had, which was working for a pharmaceutical company. I was there for almost 10 years and moved around, into different roles, and I was able to be in leadership roles, and I was able to be, in sales roles and all sorts of different things. And working there for that long also brought a lot of its own experiences with it. And in fact, one of the last things that I had the opportunity to do there was kind of a big part of why I'm where I am today, which was when I took on one of the leadership roles there, I was sent to do life coaching certification, because they felt that life coaching skills are helpful when you are in a managerial or leadership role. And it was kind of starting that made me realize that I could kind of take all of those skills and blend them with my passion of helping moms, which is another part of my story, right? Because I struggled with infertility. I ended up having my twins. I started a blog sharing my experience of being a mom of twins, and I was having women reaching out to me, so I was supporting those women in early motherhood using some of the same strategies I had used, and my life coaching was starting to come in handy there. So all of these things, I mean, that's a snapshot, right? Like, that's just little points I'm sharing with you. But if you think about all the ways that I've been raised, the things I've done, the things I naturally love to do, my interest in health and wellness and nutrition and just the medical and research side of things, that is all culminated from my work in the medical and pharmaceutical industry, and the fact that I've got two parents who were diagnosed with cancer, one of whom died, people around me getting sick. Like, all these things are part of my story. Having twins, struggling with infertility, again, part of my story. All of these things have taught me something, and all of these experiences have kind of brought me to where I am today. And it was when my dad was diagnosed and ended up passing away that I finally got to this place where I felt like I need to find my IKIGAI. I want to be living my life doing something I love to do. And at the time, it didn't matter to me whether I made money from it, but your IKIGAI truly is something that you can make money at, because that's like your profession or your vocation, right? You can make money at it, but you love to do it. And I ended up becoming a student of many big name online teachers. The first thing I did was I enrolled in an online business school called B School, which is run by Marie Forleo. If you're in online business, you know that name. So I'm a student of Marie Forleo. I'm a student of Gabby Bernstein, Danielle Laporte. I also follow Gary Vaynerchuk. I mean, these are my influences now in terms of kind of the world that I'm starting to enter with the online business and doing things that are more meaningful in my life. So I encourage you, as you walk into 2018, the reason I shared these little bits and pieces from my life with you is to give you an example of all of the things I have done. And somebody who's kind of watching me from afar might go, oh, well, you were a makeup artist, but now you're doing this. Like, that's not connected. But actually, I believe everything that you do in your life, every passion you have, every love you have, every experience you have, every job you've ever had. I've been working since I was 13 years old as a gymnastics coach, and I'm now I'll be 43 in 2018. That's 30 years of work experience. Like, there is something that comes along with 30 years of work experience. I've gained some skills, and I've learned what I am good at. I've learned what I love to do. I've learned what I don't love to do. And I've been able to culminate my whole story and my life so far of my experiences and my talents and turn that into my IKIGAI. So once you take your fish bone, I encourage you to do this, guys. Draw out something like this and start putting down all the jobs you've ever had, all the experiences you've ever had, all the things you are good at doing, love doing, your skills, your passions, and then see if you can find some qualities that are the same, right? Like, for me, like doing the makeup, I also am very artistic. I love to paint. I like for things to look good. And so there's that side of me, and then the health and wellness side. So I could kind of, when you look at all those things and you write them down, you can kind of see what the groupings are, and you start to kind of figure out, okay, this is kind of me. This is me. Yep, I'm artsy. Yep, I like pretty things. Yep, I'm into health and wellness. And then you can start to put together your little Venn diagram and really start to figure out, okay, what am I good at? What do I love to do? And once you figure out those two things, then you can get really creative and go, okay, what does the world need? And how can I provide that to the world with what I have? And then, can I make money at this? That's kind of how I came to where I am today. So me, what does the world need? The world needs change. And I'm passionate about changing the world through moms. I believe that I can do that by inspiring moms to take care of themselves and live a happier, healthier, more fulfilling life, because not only are they contributing to the world in a positive way and to make change, but they're touching their kids, and they're going to raise this future generation of kids that are going to be our future. And so for me, it was like, okay, I love inspiring. I love health and wellness. I love mindset. I love chatting and asking questions and interviewing, right? That's where the podcast came in. I love coaching and mentoring and leading people, and that's where my coaching comes in and my life coaching comes in. And then just really sitting down and kind of starting to figure out, okay, how does this all come together to be something now that I can start to make money at? And that's how this has all come to be. So this is kind of, for me, all the ways in which I have come to where I am today. And like I said, the reason I wanted to share this today is because I have had so many moms reaching out to me saying, like, I don't know if I'm in the right job. I don't know what else is out there for me, or I've been a stay-at-home mom for 10 years and now I want to do more, but I don't want to just do anything. I want to do something where I'm living my purpose. Or, they're watching me, or they've been maybe with me on my journey since I had my blog and kind of watched me grow. And they're kind of like, how did you figure out all that? How did you figure out that's what you wanted to do? And how did you turn that into a business? And so I think, for me, it's like, that's what I want. I want people to see what I'm doing and what I've done. And if this is something that you want for yourself, then this is how you're going to get it. And what a better time. There's no better time. I mean, I like making New Year's resolutions, but I also make resolutions like on my birthday. I don't think the new year is necessarily the only time you can make a resolution. But I always say, what better time? There's a few, not very long left in 2017. And if you are at all interested in living a more purposeful and fulfilled mom life in 2018, this might be the stuff to start thinking about as you walk into 2018. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I know I ran through that quick. And again, when I do my coaching with my clients, I mean, we spend a lot of time on this stuff. We really dig deep and we work through this stuff. So I just wanted to provide some value to you guys this week through the 12 days of Christmas and just share some of the things that might be valuable to you as 2018 comes along. If this kind of stuff is interesting to you, just know that I'll be talking a lot more about it in the new year. And we are also in the latter half of 2018 going to be starting to run retreats for moms. Haven't quite sorted through the times that, like, I'm not sure if I'm going to do a weekend retreat or if it's going to be day-long retreats or half-day workshops yet, but we're starting 2018 with small women's circles with just about 10 women where we kind of sit down and talk about some of this stuff, and then eventually they're going to be turned into retreats. So if the stuff is stuff that you're interested in, the self-development, finding your purpose, just living a healthier, happier life, stay on the lookout for those retreats. And thanks for tuning in. So we've got 2 more days left of the 12 days of Christmas. Tomorrow, I am going to be sharing with you guys my secret for how I make the juiciest, most delicious, no-fail, perfect turkey every holiday season. Yes, I don't eat meat, but we do host Christmas dinner at our house, and I do cook turkey, and I cook a great turkey, so I'm proud to cook turkey. I have a couple little tips that I use that I'm going to share with you guys tomorrow, so make sure you tune in tomorrow so that you can use those tips for the upcoming weekend when I'm sure you will be cooking turkey. And then on Friday, which is the 12th day of the 12 days of Christmas, I will actually be sharing my New Year's resolutions and my intentions for the new year, and hopefully sharing some strategies with you on how I come to those intentions, and that might influence you to start setting some intentions for 2018. And I'm going to share with you how I come to my resolutions and my intentions. It's not what you think. Okay, there's a method behind my madness. I'm going to share that with you on Friday. And I may or may not be wearing a Santa hat. So make sure you guys tune in. Thanks for watching today, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.